So let's see if we can optimize a little configuration here to use the Zoom F6 for Look at Me Play Guitar video. We'll start off by mounting the Zoom on this tripod. There's a little camera mount under here, threaded for tripod type stuff. So we just pop the shoe out, stick it on here, and of course the quarter is the universal screwdriver for photographers and videographers, I guess. I mean, it's not like I'm really that much of an expert, but all these screws seem to be set up to work with a quarter, so somebody was thinking like that anyway. There you go. So now we've got the F6 ready to mount on this tripod. There you go. All right. Now with this configuration, I could set this thing right in front of me, down low, so it might not even be in the shot, but I can still reach it to manipulate the controls and so on. Now, I mentioned earlier adapters to get from the F6 to microphones. I read a discussion on a recording forum where someone talked about attaching Line Audio Omni mics to Sound Devices MixPre, which is very similar to an F6. And I got inspired to try it. Little did I realize that he had forgotten to mention the adapters that were needed, because the shell is just a little too big to fit into the XLR there. The adapter takes care of that. The only mic that I could find, well, two mics I could find that connected into the F6, Schoeps CMC6. I have a video of me and Led Kapana doing a duet and recorded it with the CMC6 MK2 capsules. So I'll post a link to that in the description. But meanwhile, this is all you got to do to get your Line Audio Omni1s connected into your F6. Now we're kind of like you are with an H6 with its built-in mics. These are Omni instead of the directional mics on the H6, and it's an AB spaced pair rather than an XY. But you know, you get a stereo image and it sounds pretty good. In fact, these mics might actually be a little better than the mics that are built into the H6. So that's the first trick I came up with. Now here's another trick. This is a mic bar made by a company called Sabrasom, I think down in Brazil. This would be a way to attach directional mics or Omni mics, but in different configurations, if I could just get them to mount on top of the F6. Well, it turns out that's not that hard to do, because Zoom included this little device. This thing attaches to the top of the F6 and then provides a screw that's threaded for tripod mount right on top. Now, I think what they were thinking you'd do would be to attach your camera on top of the recorder, but I'm going to attach microphones. So first we need to fasten this to the top of the F6 with these little screws, which are very small and very easy to drop. How would I know that? And once again, we pick up our handy dandy round screwdriver, also known as a US quarter. Those of you outside the US probably have a coin that fits into the little slot in these screws. Tighten these babies down. Now we're ready to attach the bar, the mic bar. these little things slip on and off, can be mounted on this hex bar at different angles, but I'm going to try having them tilt back and adjust. Let me see. I want to go this way. Yeah. There's the big flat pancake type wheel here that we turn to tighten up the attachment to the mic bar. Now, the mic bar, of course, is using mic stand threading, and the little attachment here is photo tripod threading. So I have to use an adapter to get between them. There's also a little screw that connects the wheel to the screw that we're trying to tighten up, and it feels like that little screw has come loose again. You want to worry about that because the screw is tiny and it's easy to get lost. But I think we can keep going from here. Okay, so now we just attach our mics. Oh, let's try it this way. We'll take this guy off. Yeah, much easier. And then slip it back on. And then use the, there you go. Tighten that. And tighten this jam nut. Ha! There's half of an XY pair. So same thing on the other side. This hex bar is considerably bigger, longer than the one that comes with the Cybersom kit. I got this bar off eBay because I wanted a little bit longer reach for some of the setups that I do. And now we have our XY pair. And then of course we need cables to connect these up. And I happen to have a pair. Since the F6 has 6 channels, it's easy to record both sets of mics at the same time. So as soon as I get these guys connected, we'll go play a little slack key in front of the microphones so you can hear what they sound like. But there's our double recording configuration with an Omni AB pair and a cardioid XY pair being recorded at the same time through the Zoom F6. So here we are with the F6 look at me play guitar configuration, a pair of Line Audio Omnis and a pair of Shure KSM 141 cardioids, AB pair, XY pair, Zoom F6 capturing it all at the same time, slack key guitar, the classic Salomila. So, you give a listen to that, see what you think of Omnis versus Cardioid, see what you think of the recording quality of the good old F6, and consider that this is a way you might go about getting look at me play guitar videos. And if that's something that interests you, I hope you found this useful.